So after about 2 years, I'm finally back in my office. It's a garage, I know, yeah, but it's my garage, and this is where I used to create videos and do a bunch of other stuff. Get used to it. We're gonna be doing videos here in the garage. I know it's kind of plain looking right now. It's a work in progress. So whether you're a longtime MyMy player or just starting out as a beginner, like me, AstroDX is something I would recommend to every level player. But what is AstroDX? Pulling straight from their website, the rhythmic washing machine simulator on your phone/tablet. Play, practice, create, and share charts. It's basically a way for you to play and practice charts from your phone or tablet. And in this video, I'm going to quickly overview how to get started using this app. But before we jump into that, I just want to quickly introduce myself. Hi, my name's Jeff, or you can call me Loud Loser. I love rhythm games, and my goal here on YouTube is to get you to love them too. So if you've got any questions or ideas for me to talk about, feel free to leave it in a comment down below. Alternatively, I do have a community Discord, and we recently just hit 1,000 members. We're mainly focused on rhythm games, but there's also so many random things happening too. Like, we have a channel dedicated just to posting pets. And lately, I've been posting a lot of food stuff too. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So AstroDX has been around for quite a while now. Most likely, if you're a relatively high rating player, you've already heard of AstroDX. I've also been following the development for a few years now, but I've been holding off on making a video until now. Since they just launched their app in the iOS App Store, it's finally more accessible to Apple users, and you don't have to struggle trying to get into a test flight. With that being said, this video is going to be from the perspective of an Apple user, specifically on an iPad. Unfortunately, I don't own any Android devices, but I'm assuming a lot of the processes are similar. So let's start off by downloading the app. Head to the App Store and search up AstroDX, and it should be a fairly quick download. And then go ahead and open up the app. Going into the library, you'll notice that there's only one song available, the tutorial song. This is because you have to add the songs yourself. If you're looking for custom songs, there's a great community over at matchdata.net, and they have tons of custom charts for you to download. But I'm pretty sure 90% of you watching this video are only interested in playing official charts. If you join the AstroDX Discord server, I'll have a link in the description, and head over to the Converts channel. If you can't find it, make sure you have Show All Channels ticked. Go to the pinned post at the top and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And then the second to last post has a link to a Google Drive with almost all of the MyMy songs. Now, from my understanding, these are all recreations of charts, and nothing is actually pulled from the game data or assets. Now, the reason why I'm showing you how to navigate through the Discord instead of just giving you the link to the Google Drive is because things can change. The Google Drive might not exist in the future, or the files could be stored somewhere else. If anything does happen, at least you know where to check for information and news. Anyways, whether you're downloading from Matchdata or from the Google Drive, you'll end up with a zip file. Also, note that for Google Drive, I'm downloading using my computer since Google Drive is pretty weird on iPad. So if you're also on a computer, transferring files to your iPad is pretty easy. On a Mac, it's as easy as just using AirDrop. But if you have a PC, you can download LocalSend on your PC and your iPad. And with both open, on your PC, click on the Send tab, and you should see your iPad show up. Now just drag and drop the zip file into the window, and then select your iPad, and it should automatically start sending. Once it's done sending, open up the Files app on your iPad and look inside the LocalSend folder, and you should see your zip file. Now go ahead and select the files that you're going to import, and go ahead and tap on the Move button. Select On My iPad on the left side, and you should see the AstroDX folder. Select that, and then hit Copy on the top right. Now navigate to the AstroDX folder, and you should see your zip file there. The last thing you want to do now is tap and hold the zip file until the options come up, and then tap Rename, and then change the .zip to .adx. Now it's going to ask you if you want to use .adx or .zip. Make sure that you choose the .adx. This is very important. So now that we have our songs prepped, the next time we start up AstroDX, it should recognize these ADX files and automatically import them into the game. But before I do that, I'm just going to bring in the rest of the files and get it all done at once. Alright, so now that all the songs are here and prepped, let's hop back into AstroDX. If nothing happens, you just need to close out the game fully and then reopen the app, and then it should detect all the songs. And if you're like me and decided to import everything all at once, this might take a while. So now is a great time to talk to you about our sponsor, Corgis. Get one. This one here, his name is Beppo. My roommates just got him, and he's like 3 months old. So everyone say hi to Beppo. Isn't he cute? Isn't he so cute? So once everything finishes importing, you can go into the library, and now all the songs should be available. Now let's go over some basic navigation. At the bottom of the screen, you can click on this hamburger menu icon, and this lets you quickly swap between different folders. Right now it's set to collections, but at the bottom, I personally like to switch to difficulty. And then let's go ahead and tap on the 12 folder, and go ahead and close the menu. Here's the list of all the 12s you have installed. You can swipe up and down to navigate the list, and once you find a song, go ahead and tap on it. On the right side, you'll see the name and artist, and under that are the other difficulties available for this song. And then on the top right, if you click on this icon here, it opens up a menu where you can add this song to a playlist or collection. Here I like to make a favorites playlist, and it'll show you which collections this song shows up in. Alternatively, you can also search at the top here if you're trying to find an existing collection. Anyways, going back out to the main menu, at the top we have the search button. Here is where you can enter the song title or artist names. Unfortunately, there's no translation that happens, so if your song is in Japanese, you have to enter the hiragana, katakana, or kanji. Luckily though, the search happens in real time as you enter the characters. Next, for sort, you're able to sort the songs by title, difficulty, date, and achievement. And then on the left side, here is where you can adjust all of your settings. First page is credentials. This is optional, but if you want to enter your name, this shows up in the corner while you're playing and on the results screen. Also, just so we're clear, I'm not going to go over every single setting because honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what everything does, but I am going to go over settings that I use personally. Under the theme menu, for ring style, I like to use simple since that matches what I use when I'm playing on the actual machine. But they have a variety of different styles for you to use. For the metrics menu, achievement type is what shows up in the center of the screen. I like to use combo, and you can just set this to whatever you want. Scrolling down, I like to enable the critical perfects here. And then enable early lates on everything below critical. So while I'm playing, I get little notifications that let me know if I'm hitting late or if I'm hitting early. Next are the gameplay settings. Pause behavior is how you want to be able to pause the game. The default is double tap, so in case you accidentally tap near it, it won't interrupt your game. But I personally like to set this to single tap, since I never really touch that part of the screen, and it makes restarting and exiting a lot faster and easier. Next are tap speed and touch speed, which are pretty similar to the settings in my, but I found that I read a lot faster on Astro compared to the cab. Like on AstroDX, my speed settings are set to 7.5, but on the machine I have it set to 6.5. So understand that you might not be using the same settings between the two. Next setting I want to talk about is the play area size. This is basically the scale of your circle. If you think the ring is too close to the edge of your screen, you can decrease this number to make it smaller, and vice versa. If the ring is too small, you can increase this to make it bigger. Personally, on my iPad, I like to play on 0.8. Let's move on to judgment. Really, I've only adjusted one setting, and that's the music offset. The description is pretty self-explanatory. If you're getting a lot of late judgments, increase the value, and if you're getting earlies, then decrease it. Everything else, I kind of just leave it on the default. And mixer is where you'll find all the audio settings. Me personally, I like to turn off all the sound effects and guide notes. I do this for every rhythm game I play. But feel free to adjust to whatever fits your playstyle. And that's pretty much all the settings that I want to cover. Obviously, there's so many more options available, and I could spend hours here talking about them. But this is supposed to be a quick start guide, so let's move on. Back to the main menu, now that we have our settings dialed in and the song selected, it's time to hit the big "Let's Go" button on the bottom right. This takes you straight into the gameplay. Obviously, there's no buttons available, so you're basically simulating a screen touch player. And that's fine in my opinion for learning and studying charts. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice a progress bar. This shows you how far you are into the song. And on the top left is the pause button. Tapping that will bring up the pause menu with a few features. Since all of the charts are community made, occasionally you might run into a chart that's off sync. Here you can adjust the offset for that chart individually. And for the buttons, you have the typical resume, retry, and exit buttons. And these should all be self-explanatory. But we also have a practice button. This right here is probably my favorite feature. You can basically set an in and out point on the song, and then set the playback speed. And then when you hit the retry button here at the top, it takes you to that section you specified and plays the song at that speed that you set. And then after, it takes you back to the menu here. This is great for practicing certain sections that are usually too fast to comprehend, and it's something I use all the time. Anyways, hitting the exit button here will take you back to the song select menu. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully by now you should be able to start playing and practicing songs. Now, I do want to add that AstroDX is not a replacement for MyMy. If your goal is to get better at MyMy, yes, this app can help you out. But maybe it'll only get you about 40% of the way there. It's not a replacement for actually playing the charts on the machine and getting the muscle training needed to hit certain patterns. Now, I understand not everyone has access to machines or they can't afford to go play often, so this is an alternative, but you'll never have the same experience as playing on an official cab. That being said, if you can, please go out and support official machines and go play at real arcades. So that's all I have for this video. I'm sure I skipped over a lot of important things, so if there's anything you want to mention about settings, about MyMy, about AstroDX, or just anything in general, feel free to leave it in a comment down below for others to see. Anyways, don't forget that I do have a Discord. What else? Oh, I'm selling these gloves that I use for MyMy. Umiyuri, Barayawi. They're on my website. You can get them at luckyprime.us. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.